Tonight's next inductee is men's soccer standout, Jason Marlovits. At this time, I'd like to ask Megan Marlovits, a 1996 University of Hartford graduate, Jason's boss, and better half, to come up and help me present tonight's awards. This is really a Hartford soccer family in so many ways. When Megan was here at the University of Hartford, she was a member of our cheerleading squad. She was a red cap and a residential assistant and RA. Her brother, Charlie, give us a wave. Charlie played soccer here at the University of Hartford with our next inductee and future brother-in-law, Jason. And Mrs. O'Hara, Kathy, was a member of the President's Office third floor staff. So early on, it was just a soccer happening for the O'Haras and the Marlovitses. So, Jason, come on up here so we can talk about you. Yeah, Jason Marlovits, a defender and two-time captain of the men's soccer program, is one of 7 All-Americans in the program's history, having been a third-team NSCAA selection in 1996. He also earned All-New England distinction in 96 and was a 2-time America East Conference first-team honoree in 2005 and 2006. Jason also earned distinction as a member of the America East Conference Honor Roll in 96, Conference All-Championship team in 94, and the Umbro Select College, and was also a member of the Umbro Select College All-Star team. Jason led the Hawks to a 17-6-1 record and a trip to the NCAA quarterfinals in 1996. He is a Barney School of Business graduate from Windsor, Ontario, a Canadian who I got a chance to meet on his very first visit here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jason Marlovits to the Hall of Fame.
I want to start the night off by thanking everyone here at the university and all the people in the athletic department involved in putting on such a great evening. And I'm greatly honored to be recognized with an elite group of inductees tonight that will add to our rich history. To start, I want to take a moment to honor one of our Hall of Famers, Kenny Gush, who passed away a couple weeks ago, to remember him and his family in our thoughts and prayers. Kenny played basketball and baseball for University of Hartford and will always be remembered for his 35 years of service in East Hartford school systems. He served on several boards and charities and hospitals where he devoted a great deal of time to help the less fortunate and ill. We can't all be NBA and Major League Baseball All-Stars, but what Kenny accomplished in his career and life after Hartford shows how important he was to the community, and what he stood for made him just as special, and I wanted to recognize him tonight. He was a funny and jovial character and a close family friend of ours. To honor him, I would like to extend a round of applause for him. So it's not every day you get to stand here and share your story with people who you love and care for so much over a lifetime, as each and every one of us has a story to tell. This is a huge opportunity tonight to reflect and recognize and give thanks to some important people in my life and who helped me achieve this unbelievable honor. 20 years ago, I packed my suitcase and made my way out east from a small blue-collar town of Windsor, Ontario, located across the water from Detroit, Michigan. No, I wasn't a tough, rugged hockey player from a city with rich NHL legends, but I was born and raised in a crazy Croatian and Austrian background, and plenty of those people are here in attendance tonight. So first, I'd like to thank the Canadian Invasion at the table over there for making the long trip here. And sharing this occasion with me. I want to thank you, Baiko, Johnny, Lillian, Mike, Ed, Marina, Vienna, Mateus. I want to personally thank you, Mom and Dad, for being there all my life, as I truly believe that you all played important factors in my upbringing, growing up in a community that shares the same values and principles. It wasn't easy leaving home, missing the home cooking, and it took some adjusting to not having you around all the time. But I was fortunate enough you raised me with care, love, and helped me mature along the way to what I am today. I spent a lot of time out here in the East Coast, away from you all, celebrating special occasions and holidays. But on the flip side, we got to spend and share a lot of memories venturing around here in the Northeast together. Mom, thanks for keeping us together, as it's not easy dealing with 4 guys in the house, as Megan can attest to. I have fond respect for you both, having to raise a family of 3 and all the running around you did for me and our brothers. Thank you, Dad, for being my youth soccer coach over a 10-year period during a crucial part of my soccer development. He handpicked a select group of area kids that were incredible soccer players, teammates, and to this day are my lifelong friends. There is yet to be another team in the Windsor area to accomplish what we did those years, and I want to personally thank my dad for that. Also, I had the benefit of playing with my brothers growing up, learning a lot from them. I played with my brother Ed in high school, and also my older brother Mike with Windsor Croatia Soccer Club. We had some memorable moments, and it was a pleasure to learn and grow with some of the greatest players in Southwestern Ontario. My brothers were both fantastic soccer players who unfortunately had things cut short due to injuries. Mike was a right-footed striker, and Ed was a left-footed midfielder. A lot of folks try to compare who was the best of the 3 of us, and really, without a shadow of a doubt, there is no comparison.
It was me.
I knew that was coming. But in the end, there was never an argument because we all played different positions and the game differently. But one thing is for sure, we love the game, we love to win, and we gave it our very best every time we stepped out on the field. I learned from them, and like what all other brothers do, they included me, they protected me, and they looked after me. Thank you both. I love you guys for being there and being here tonight. Secondly, I want to thank my college coaches, Jim Evans, who's not here tonight, but Andy Reese, who is. I was given a lifetime opportunity to come here, get an education, and do what I love to do all my life was to play soccer. My brother Ed and I met with Jim Evans the day after Christmas at a soccer tournament in Michigan. And back then there weren't too many recruiting companies or places to showcase your talents back then. We sat down afterwards after the game with Jim, and Ed, my brother, had tried to broker a 2-for-1 deal. But Jim had to settle for the better looking younger brother. Thanks, Ed. I met Coach Reese on my recruiting trip, and clearly he was the only voice of reason. And we probably gave him a lot of gray hairs trying to maintain control of us and did his best to keep us in check. Andy is a player's coach and knew what it took to achieve at this level, success at this level. Thank you and Vicky for coming this evening. I also want to give a quick thank you to my first year University of Windsor coach, Voncho Sorofsky, who approached me about playing soccer here and finishing out my career here at Hartford. Voncho really didn't have anything to benefit from giving a kid he knew for one season a chance to play at a higher level. The rest was history. I thank you greatly, Jim, Andy, and Voncho, and I will be forever in debt for your judgment, coaching, mentoring, friendship, and most importantly, opening the door of opportunity for me. Thirdly, I would like to personally thank all my teammates over my career. We were joking earlier that I could stand up here and act like Michael Jordan when he did a speech at Springfield and just run my mouth up and say how great I was, but that's not the case. I played with the most underrated back 4 in the country my senior year. We finished an overall 10th place finish in the nation. I feel the guys that played alongside me developed into one of the best in the country that year. Todd Sadler, Rafiq Wiley, Dave Biquette, and keepers Christian DeGenova and Kevin Hickey took care of things in goal. Sorry, Kevin. We were strong, we won everything in the air, and we would physically kick the crap out of every team we faced. It took us 3 years to put it all together, but in the final season, everybody contributed from top to bottom. Striker Brian Karofsky scored some big goals for us, Charlie O'Hara scoring one of the biggest goals in UHart history at URI, and Rob Yackham, fellow Hall of Famer and All-American, who single-handedly took down Hartford in the second round of the NCAAs. Finishing up in the Elite Eight was the biggest feat for us and is recorded as the highest finish in men's soccer history. I learned a lot from these guys, and we spent a great deal of time together. We've been to one another's weddings. We have a future one on the way with Charlie and Angela, and built friendships that will last a lifetime. We kept in touch all these years, and I plan to help Coach Poitras keep pushing you guys to get involved in the current program. It was more than soccer with this special group of guys. I like to call ourselves a bunch of misfits, but we made it work and we accomplished some great things together. Kevin Hickey was the first one to walk me to my first apartment overlooking Almer Zoo Field. He's a cool Moose legend. The bus trips home after any victory were ridiculous and chaos. Locker room scuffles over what kind of music was being played before and after warm-ups. Christian loved to number crunch his meal points and still owes UHart $100,000 in reimbursed scholarship funds. Todd Sadler gave the university bookstore its only competition. Charlie was the best at making animal noises and the worst at trying to cover up NCAA violations. Good friend of ours, Sebastian Cognetta, really should have been on the cheerleading team, I'm convinced. Rob Yackham won the Best Highlight Tape Award. Matt Cameron a close second, from as I found out on our recruiting trip. Images of Patrick McCann walking down the Sports Center halls in his Speedo, looking for Coach Reese's swimming lessons still haunt me to this day. We had some entertaining US versus the world competitions, and we had one of the best intramural basketball teams of all time that goes beyond outside of soccer, so thank you guys. I would like to ask Andy Reese and my teammates who are here this evening to stand and accept a round of applause on our behalf. I found the all-American family in East Hartford. The O'Haras opened up their hearts and took us foreigners in like a youth hostel when we didn't have when we didn't have a place to go for the holidays. They were two of our biggest supporters, and I thank you all that you've done for me and our family over the years, during and after college. You both have incredible extended families, and it's my pleasure to be part of it. You prove you can never go wrong with the Irish, and they can party just as hard as the Canadians and Croatians. But moving away from soccer a bit, I'd like to look at my overall experience here. I met a bunch of folks that make Hartford to what it is today. I would like to personally thank my UHart family, Pat Miser, Dr. Weinswig, Jim Keener, Ellen Crandall, Teddy, Walt, Jen, Dick, Christina, and more recently, over the past couple years, Coach Poitras and the Soccer Excellence Committee for moving this program forward. I wish Coach Poitras the best in the future, and I'm hoping his program can achieve a Final Four appearance. Lastly, one thing that Voncho Sorofsky mentioned to me in our meeting over 20 years ago about Hartford was that it's going to be an incredible experience for me to get an education, play soccer, and heck, you might even meet your future wife down the road. For a 19-year-old, that usually goes in one ear and out the other, but look how it worked out for me in the end. I met my wife Megan of 14 years, and we have 3 wonderful boys together, Luke, Ryan, and Sean. It was the icing on the cake for me, and this, in fact, my proudest accomplishment here at the University of Hartford. Megan was a cheerleader, sorority member, Red Cap, RA, worked in admissions, did it all. I have to personally thank one of my best mates while here, Aussie Patrick McCann, for introducing me to my next best mate. Megan was absolutely stunning then and still stunning to this day. She is one of the strongest, courageous, remarkable people. I'm so happy to call my wife, my best friend, and super mom, and I share this honor with you. I could not have done it without you and without your love and support. In closing, thank you again for this honor, and I'll share this forever. I feel like we accomplished a lot over a 3-year span and the memories. What I've learned from this university is that it's not always about talking sports and statistics, but more about family, commitment, friendship, memories, and developing student athletes into good citizens, and always knowing coming back here is like coming back home. Thank you very much.